What's up, everybody? Welcome. Did your hand just go out of the green screen?
Probably.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Gaming Without Parole. Sitting across from me this week and every week, the sweetest of the Sour Patch Kids, Desra.
Hi. And sitting across from me is Brian Paul.
That's right. And every week on Gaming Without Parole, we grab a game out of the archives and talk about it extensively for maybe a good reason, maybe a bad reason.
Yeah.
But this week, the PlayStation VR game we want to talk about this week is what, Des?
See, I didn't knock twice.
You did the right thing, which
yeah,
this game doesn't allow you to do.
I know. Yeah, so we can just start off with that. We're talking about, of course, Don't Knock Twice, a horror title. Yeah, the first thing that happens in the game is you have to knock twice.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
It's not a game about following the rules.
Right. Although, I guess, now that I think about it, that is kind of brilliant. Because if you don't knock twice, the game never starts and the horrible things never happen.
Yeah.
So... Okay, yeah, actually, I take that back. Good job.
And then it's much longer than an hour. Because you stand there and nothing happens ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's about an hour long.
Give or take, yeah. I mean, I suppose if you know exactly what you should be doing, you can probably blow through it in, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But which seems to be a theme with these horror experiences. Oh, by the way, we should also announce that since it is October, we're doing a theme of spooky games.
I feel pretty spooky.
Yeah.
And even better than that, this game is currently on sale until Tuesday. So you better buy this game if you want it. It's usually $20, which is a pretty good deal already, I thought. But it's $10 right now on the PlayStation. If you have PlayStation Plus, I think, on the VR sale.
Right.
Yeah, definitely worth picking up for that price.
So we just wrap the episode there then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait.
See you next week.
Don't wait for a sale. Just buy it while it's on sale. Yeah. But so it's kind of funny that this game came out because just like a month before this, we got Paranormal Activity, which is a horror PlayStation VR game that is also based on a horror movie.
And we didn't even mention that. Yeah, of course, this is based on the movie, which, you know what? I hadn't seen the movie or knew anything about it until just before we recorded this, and I figured I should at least look at the trailer. And,
Des is sick. Don't mind him.
Pardon me. And I really wish I hadn't, because it made me so very, very, very sad. I'm a big Battlestar Galactica fan.
Oh, no.
I'm a big Katie Sackhoff fan.
Yep.
And seeing that this is where she ended up making this movie, I'm so sad now.
So knowing this game was coming out,
yes,
fans of the Midnight Games cast may recall that when this game was announced and they said it was coming out on a specific date, I rented Don't Knock Twice.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't I?
It's your due diligence as a reviewer.
That's right. It's not a very good movie.
No.
I like horror movies, and this was not a good one.
I don't like horror movies, and it definitely wasn't a good one.
Have you seen a Paranormal Activity movie?
I have not.
Have you seen a horror movie?
Yes.
Okay, so the way they really accent
from narrow to narrow.
I was like, I don't want to waste a lot of time here. But when you make a good horror movie, you start off like something bright and chipper, right? Because you got to create that dynamic, like something that goes from like being like, hey, this is what like real everyday life is like.
Right. Yeah.
And then we're gonna bring the terror.
Right.
And then that change in theme and in feeling.
Like summer camp, Michael Myers.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Right? It's like that there's a change that happens. And then things feel scarier because like it seems like it's happening in your real world, like a world that you've inhabited, that you've lived in.
Right.
Well, Don't Knock Twice starts off and it's like this dreary, like everything kind of echoes, and it's like a miserable, sad horror movie from the get-go. There is no shiny, happy part of it.
Oh.
So at no point did like when something scary happened was I ever surprised,
right?
Or was I ever like taken aback? It's like no, from the get-go they set the tone that this was going to be just sad and dreary.
Well, I'll have to say the developers of the game definitely took some notes from the movie then.
They did.
Yeah.
Well, hey, the developers of the game.
Yes.
Wales Interactive.
Wales Interactive.
Do we know anything about Wales?
It's a.
I knew this was the wrong question to ask.
Yeah. It's got a really interesting language where like.
I'll just let you go.
I'm not going to do that. Yeah, Wales is part of the United Kingdom, and that's all we're going to need to talk about.
Wales Interactive, however, unbelievable when I checked out the games that they'd made.
Yeah.
Because it's, for most people, I think, aren't games that you'd ever heard of before.
Okay.
Unless you're me.
Okay.
And you like some weird, strange indie games.
Because
back in 2013, they made Master Reboot on PlayStation 3. It was kind of like a horror psychological title.
Okay.
Which the second I heard they made that game, I was like, that makes perfect sense.
Oh, okay.
It was like I almost should have seen it without knowing.
Yeah.
Right. And then they followed that up in 2016 with some other games we don't need to talk about in between on PlayStation 4 with Soul Axiom, which is like kind of a sci-fi version of Master Reboot.
Oh, right, okay.
So these are games that all really, really meld together. Like, this is a developer that does something very well, and now they've done it 3 times at least with, again, things that make money in the meantime.
And that could explain some things, because, we've been doing a lot of these horror-themed titles lately, and I'll admit, I haven't been super impressed so far.
Yeah.
The build quality on all these games is not great. The thing that took me right off the bat with this game was it looks like a professionally made game.
Yeah.
Unlike some of the other things we've been reviewing lately. So yeah, it's got the smack of, people behind this pretty much knew what they were doing, which is a nice change.
And just to tack on to they know what they're doing bit, when this game launched, and actually the only way we've played it at this point, like full transparency here, we wanted to make sure we got this video up in October.
Right.
And like 2 weeks ago, the developers had tweeted out that said the patch for full locomotion, DualShock 4 support, a bunch of bug fixes, that was supposed to be out already, like a week or two ago.
Yeah, this was supposed to be like the launch title for our spooky games thing. Yeah. But we've been putting the brakes on it, like, no, we're going to wait for the update. We're still waiting.
We're still waiting, and like every other developer on the face of the planet, they claim that their patch has been submitted to Sony, and they're just waiting for the approval. Now, the good thing about this patch, despite the fact that it's not out, is that it's supposed to fix a bunch of bugs. So when we talk about bugs this episode, keep your fingers crossed that they're fixed by the time you play it. But more importantly, the DualShock 4 full locomotion, smooth turning, like full first-person shooter controls should be implemented. Which that means this is a developer that listens to the audience. Because right now, in the game that we played, teleportation.
Yep, teleportation
Click
only.
turning.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan. Especially when I click turn and teleport into a wall and get stuck there.
Yeah, so that'll open up the...
Let's do this bug talk.
Oh my god.
There's a lot of bugs.
Oh my god.
And not the scary little cockroaches. It's like the scary game-breaking ones.
Yeah, there's some of those too, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was, as I just said, like right off the bat, like, oh, this is really well done. This looks great. It's a creepy environment. One of the things, as I'm doing this, I'm starting to discover the things I like about scary games, and it's got to be the environment has to be scary. It can't be like I'm walking down a corridor and something scary happens to me. It's got to be a slow building, the sound design, the way the room looks and all that has to add up to... This is kind of normal, but there's something skewed.
Yeah.
That's, I guess, is going to be my trigger. And this catches that perfectly. You show up in the middle of this room at night, and your cell phone buzzes, which, well, we'll talk about the cell phone later, but there's just the fact that all of a sudden you have a cell phone, and it buzzes, and some nasty things are coming on that. Like, you're disoriented, and it sets up this wonderful environment, which is immediately ruined by the fact that the locomotion is busted. Clipping is... I don't know how many times I texted you with like, oh, and I think I was 5 minutes into the game, and I sent Brian my first text saying, this is not going well. And the candle that you need to walk around and see where you're going for a good part of the game, I had somehow gotten that lodged into the middle of a door. Just stuck in the door, and I couldn't pull that out. Anyway, so I had to send Brian a text to that, and like, this is not going great, and had to reboot.
So here's the deal. I on my first attempt on this game as well, experienced a ton of bugs, and actually at one point I had to restart the game. I think 45 minutes in.
Only once?
I think that sounds right. But what happens is if you're encountering bugs over and over and over again, don't quit and then load your saved game. Delete your save game and start over from scratch, because the only thing I ever found to kind of clear, pave the way for a new set of problems and get rid of the old set is by starting a brand new game. So if you're playing this pre-patch, hopefully that'll help you out a little bit.
And not only that, for me, I was trying to restart, and it would just compound things. So I would, there was one point I got the candlestick stuck, I put it down on a surface, because that's what you do. You put things down when you need your hands for other things, and it just sunk.
Yeah.
Slowly into that, and then I couldn't get it out of there. So I was like, okay, I'll restart. And I came back, and one of my hands was missing. Which in a game where you need to carry things and you don't have an inventory, that's a problem.
Big problem.
Yeah. So I even tried playing like that for a little while and finally gave up and eventually just completely shut down the PS4 completely and restarted the whole thing. And that seemed to work a little bit. One of there's locked doors here and there, and eventually you get an axe, so the locked doors aren't so much of an issue until you get the axe stuck in the door. So if you're noticing a theme, this is this is a problem.
Yeah, things go kind of wonky quite a bit. And the worst is just when you like I said, I got stuck in a wall, and I tried everything to get unstuck from that wall. You can't teleport out, you can't click turn around. I tried just like physically walking like 4 feet in a different direction, and my character was like completely out of the trouble area. Still couldn't get out of the stuck position. So again, I think this will be the first big patch, and let's just keep our fingers crossed that it works, because when it works, it really works really well.
It's really good.
Yeah. You'd mentioned the cell phone right off the bat.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. So you end up in this room right away at the beginning of the game, and the first thing you hear is bzzz, bzzz, and it's like everybody knows that sound, and it's almost like jarring. Like
it's scary.
Yeah, because you're like, what? It's my phone. You gotta look down, get the phone, and you look at it, and there's a text message that says, "Leave me the F alone."
Right.
And I was like, oh, good. There's just unnecessary swearing in this game. That's fantastic. But that's a text message. And the way a lot of the story works in this game is through text messages, but also, even worse, I feel like I'm going to talk a lot of bad things about this game.
Okay.
But overall, I really like it, so keep that in mind. Almost the entire story is played out through reading.
Oh, yeah.
And I hate reading in VR. It doesn't make any sense. Sorry, I got something stuck in my teeth.
See, I don't mind reading in VR if it's legible.
Well, that's the problem. It's like so on the PlayStation 4 Pro, right? Like when they use some super sampling, you can like kind of read things better. It's still not that clear.
Yeah.
So on a regular PlayStation 4 in VR, it's like, ooh.
I feel like my character needs bifocals. I'm literally sitting there like holding things up. Okay, what?
Right.
At one point actually, I couldn't, I didn't have the social screen on because I was playing it when my kids were in the room, and there's some stuff that may be disturbing.
So you're wearing headphones.
Yeah, of course. Oh, yeah, wearing headphones too.
That really helps in this game.
Yeah, and at one point I'm just like walking up to what my kids see is a blank television, and they're like, "What are you doing?" It's like, I'm trying to read an invisible piece of paper. What has happened to my life? Yeah.
Yeah. So, in all fairness to the game, the story might be great, but after about 4 pieces of paper, a letter, a newspaper, a journal entry, I think, I stopped reading because I was like, I don't really care.
Okay. Well, I had more patience for it, and they do a good job of kind of breadcrumbing out the story to you and giving you some hints about what's happening. It is a little confusing though because of either the order you read the letters and of who your character actually is. That's something I could have a good argument for what the name of your character actually is. After seeing the movie trailer, I'm like, well, it's got to be the mom, I guess, but I don't know. There's some hints that you might be the guy. I don't know, but it's not really that important, honestly.
It's not, and I think that's kind of my thing with scary movies and scary games is that the story is only really there to bring you in, and to give you a reason to go about doing your things. I don't really hold much stock in story altogether when it comes to scary games. So in the game is scary, so that's all that I really cared about. But what are we actually doing in this game? Because it took me a second when I replayed it today.
Yeah,
I realized not doing a whole lot.
Yeah, there isn't really. It's weird now that you mentioned, now that you first like that, I'm like, actually, what is the goal? You're just kind of walking around exploring, and
it is a walking simulator.
Okay,
that is how I've described this game.
I guess so.
And but it hides that fact really well, I think. Yeah. Because like you're picking up candles and lighting other candles, and it seems like you're solving puzzles, but there's not a whole lot of puzzle solving going on.
No.
The game sort of funnels you down a path, even though it seems like you have a lot of ways to go. There's a lot of locked doors.
Yeah.
And then you sort of trigger an event. You might witness something. You see something happen. And then the next thing you know, you hear a door creak open. And something that was locked before is suddenly not locked anymore.
Yeah. I guess at the end of it, I mean, it is kind of a fetch quest sort of thing. There are like 5 objects. 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 objects that you have to find. Yeah.
Yeah. Spoilers. It's just like Paranormal Activity. You got to do the exact same thing. I kid you not. It's the same exact thing as Paranormal Activity, the game. You got to find 5 objects for a pentagram.
Yeah.
Spoilers. I'm sorry. I've ruined it for you.
Geometry is scary.
I saved you $10. It might have saved you $20, depending on when you watch this. Yeah. No, it's fun. Check it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, a lot of fetch quests. And as it is right now, the only way we've been able to play this. Now, don't forget that this is actually also playable in 2D on your television screen. You can just don't do it.
No.
Don't do it, because this game is infinitely more scary in VR, as things always are.
Yeah, and since, I mean, you know, again, with my motion sickness issues, no problems with this. The teleportation, the click turning, you know, for me, that's getting the 2 thumbs up. Nice. So yeah, there's the 2D version is not great, and the immersion with the full 3D VR and the audio, they did so much work to make this a fully immersive experience. Don't crap all over them. Don't play it in 3D. 2D.
And when and like I said, the way it is now with 2 move controllers, you know, you feel like you're in this environment. You're like reaching out, you're picking things up, you're opening doors. Not that the opening and closing of doors works very well. Because it doesn't work the way you'd think it would. If they just made it so you reached out and opened the door or closed the door, that's fine, but that's not what they did. Instead, they created a brand new mechanic where, like, you reach out and all you have to do is activate the little circle that's on the door.
Yeah.
And then you can, like, just go forward or backwards. And the whole thing, it's just silly because it doesn't feel natural.
No, it doesn't. That's not how I tend to open doors.
But once you know what you're supposed to do, once you realize that you're not supposed to make the opening door motion, second nature. So, 2 hands.
2 hands.
In the environment, you're picking things up, you're putting things down, things are disappearing.
Including blowtorches.
But the
Was that in the movie?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think I made about halfway through the movie, and like I was just so bored.
Katie.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I didn't give your movie a fair shot. If it didn't grab me by halfway through, I think I can give it a pass. I give it the old Netflix try, we'll call it. So you mentioned the axe.
Yes.
I loved getting the axe because up until a certain point, if there was a locked door, you just couldn't go through it. You had to wait for something to trigger, maybe hear a creaking door or something, and then go retry all the doors again.
Yeah.
And then the axe shows up.
Right.
And then you can just chop off handles.
Yeah. So this is going to kind of bring me back to my flashlight discussion from Here They Lie.
Okay.
Well, with the flashlight, we talked about, why do I have all these batteries if it doesn't matter how long the flashlight's on? If the flashlight doesn't really have any kind of job.
Yeah.
Why do I spend the first half of this game searching for keys and all that when I'm just eventually going to find an axe and none of that's going to matter anymore?
Well, because you didn't know you were going to find the axe.
Well, but then continue on with the whole finding keys and things. It's just like halfway through, did they get bored with coming up with puzzles?
See, no, I think they knew that searching around for new entranceways and stuff and waiting for another door to get unlocked would get boring for the gamer. Like for me, the axe popped up at the perfect time.
Yeah.
Because I was like, man, I wonder what door I got to go find now. Then I found the axe and it was like, oh, you can just chop off door handles.
Yeah.
So what that did instead was make me wonder, man, I've seen some locked handles around here. Where can I go and chop door? And then I started backtracking. It gave me a reason to start going through room by room again, places I had thought I was like done exploring.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's like a cupboard that you can open up. There's all these locked doors. Suddenly the whole game bursts wide open.
Oh yeah.
It's like getting the skeleton key, but even cooler.
Yeah, and there's there are cool little collectibles and findables. There's the Matryoshka dolls that are all over the place.
I'm glad you said it. I always forget the name of those things.
Well, I probably mispronounced it, but that's what I call them.
Yeah, if you want more about Matryoshka dolls, Matryoshka dolls, make sure you go watch Why We Love Double Fine. You can we talk about stacking. It was a great game, and no one actually watched that episode except for Tim himself.
Hey, thank you, Tim.
What's up, Tim? Probably not watching anymore. We loved Rhombus of Ruin. Sorry,
we did. So about this game, so I will say this. So for those of you who are keeping track and think like we're going,
everyone's tuned out.
Okay.
We could have a picnic right now and no one would even comment on it.
Well, so that's a shame because I'm actually about to drop a huge bomb.
Is it a spoiler bomb?
No, not a spoiler bomb. I wouldn't do that. This game actually scared me.
I'm so excited to
actually got me to holy crap.
That is awesome.
Yeah, there was one moment, and I'm not going to spoil the moment, but let's just say it's a perfect, the perfect timing of you're doing a normal action, an everyday thing, and something happens at that moment. Yeah. So it's this great misdirection, perfectly timed, and it's the thing that kind of scares you is not something that you've had any hint about beforehand. Unless, well, yeah, I don't want to go
into detail.
But it's
the same thing scared me, and I didn't have any context for it. Like I should have not known it was coming, but because it would be impossible to know it was coming. But like I didn't even pick up on the clues ahead of time.
Yeah. So it was, So if for those of you,
you know what we're talking about.
Yeah. For those of you who are here saying like, oh, we want to see Des get scared. With all its bugs, with all the frustrating, literally, I don't know if I can finish this game, Brian. It's driving me insane. But with all that, it did the job. It scared me.
Yeah. And
once.
I know. Well, see, and you say once, but for me, it set the tone so well that anytime I approached a new door, I was kind of scared to open it. I got that Resident Evil 7 dilemma going on. And then and there was a moment that was separate from this one where the game really invaded my personal space. I was like,
okay, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And I was like, oh man, if they're willing to do that to me, then I don't know what is in store. And as I've said multiple times on this show and in every other one, it's the fear of the unknown. It's I wonder what kind of chops this developer has. I wonder what their ability to scare me is really going to be. Is it just setting a tone, or do they have the ability to really get me? And they got me multiple times, and in ways that Resident Evil 7 didn't.
Yeah.
New and interesting VR ways.
Yeah, it was really well done, which, again, takes you on this great journey until we get to the end.
Yeah.
And
I'm glad you brought this up.
And, the ending is just so out of left field.
Yeah, out of place completely.
Yeah, and just the build quality drops precipitously. And I don't know if this has any context to the movie, if the movie ends like this or not. And then it gets to the point where it's they're setting up their twist ending, and it's just I know what's going to happen. I'm supposed to do this thing, and I know because I've seen horror movies before, and I understand what tragedy is. That if I do this thing, it's actually going to be a bad thing, and for blah 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 blah. Yeah. And I just found myself I don't really want to do this thing, because it was so. I don't want to say badly done again, but. It was just so out of left field and out of character for the rest of the game. I just stopped caring almost immediately.
Yeah, the entire game is, I don't want to call it true survival horror, because true survival horror, I think...
well, there's a chance you could die.
Right, yeah, good point. Can you die in this game?
I don't believe so. If
you
can, it never came up.
So I got confused with Paranormal Activity.
Right.
But yeah, it's, I think I want to take it back to, I want to say Mike Zeller.
Hey, Mike.
What's up, Mike? And I could be wrong, and maybe you said this. I don't know. Somebody should correct me. Maybe I should edit all of this out. But somebody said true survival horror is when there's 3 zombies in a room and only 2 bullets in the gun.
Okay, that wasn't me. That was
okay. We're gonna go with Mike.
Yeah.
What's up, dude? There's no way he's watching. But the fact is that so that's that. Ever since he said that, I was like, yeah, that's survival horror, because you have got to make decisions. Are you gonna run for it? Are you gonna use those bullets? What are you gonna do? And this game has no combat in it.
No.
Until the out of left field.
Weird
ass ending, and then it just, and because of that. It just feels totally out of place, and it feels like it doesn't belong in the game, and really sort of leaves a bad taste in your mouth when it's all said and done, because the game up until that point was fantastic and a lot of fun and scary, and then at the end it still kept me on edge, but I wasn't enjoying it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to kind of underline this. I have to tell you how amazing this game must be, because even with all these bugs that were driving us both insane, we're still saying this is a good game.
Right.
Now, this is something that I should, if any other gaming experience had given me these bugs, no, crap. I wouldn't even, I would have talked Brian out of doing this episode. But even with those bugs, the rest of the game was so well put together that I still have to recommend it.
Yeah. No, I think we were both in the exact same boat, and we both enjoyed our time with it.
Yeah.
But how much did we enjoy our time with it, Des? This brings us to our...
Okay, yeah, so we're just officially going back to our old scale because screw it.
Yeah, because we enjoyed it so much. And a lot of you did too.
So, number one is go buy this game, drop what you're doing. You must own this if you own a PSVR.
Yeah.
Number two is,
wait for a sale.
If it's on sale, great, pick it up. If you have the means, cares about, great, why not? Number three is don't. Friends don't let friends buy crap. We don't want to encourage this kind of behavior from developers. Don't buy this. So what is it for you?
Well, here's the thing. I know that not everyone's a horror movie junkie.
Yeah.
I know that not everyone loves scary games. I know some people don't get scared by scary games so much. Yeah. And I know that the amount of time you spend in the game, for a lot of people, greatly impacts the amount of money they're willing to spend on the game. So for the general populace, the general people out there that are just PlayStation VR gamers and they're just looking to try something new, I would say that you should pick it up during the sale or the next time it goes on sale.
Yeah.
Because $10 I think is a fantastic price for this game.
Absolutely.
No matter who you are. But if you're like me and you love scary games and scary movies, $20 isn't a stretch. And I would say go pick it up. You probably won't regret it. Also, I disagree with almost every review I've ever seen of this game.
Okay. Because
everyone harps on the bugs and then doesn't give it the credit it deserves after that.
Yeah. I would... Yeah, So it's weird. I'm actually going to come out a little stronger for this game. I would say this is a 1. No, you know what? No, this is a 2, provided that they never fix anything. If it's just this buggy, I'll say it's... If the patch comes out and they fix the bugs, this is absolutely 1, no question. Shut up and take my money. If you want a horror experience for VR, this is it. It's quick and, short and sweet. I know, and hey, I am working on Resident Evil 7 right now. But
no
it's
pressure.
It's a long game.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Maybe you don't have all the 14, 20 hours, whatever, it's going to take you to finish that. 9. You want just a quick scare?
9 for most people. It took me 14 because I was a scaredy cat.
Yeah. If you want just a quick scare, sit down, play it in one sit down, and have an experience. Yeah. Well, there's no reason not to pick this up.
It's like a VR horror movie, kids.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'll say, I guess my final word on this. This is the worst executed, best horror game I've ever played.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Nice. I really like that. And hopefully that won't even apply soon. Hopefully all these bugs will get fixed, and being able to play with a DualShock 4 controller with full locomotion, I will be so thrilled to play through it again. Yeah. Not you. Right. But having the option is awesome. We love options.
Yes, we do.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it, Des.
Yep. And I want to just make a call to action for you guys. So far, the response to our videos has been great lately. You guys have really been subscribers numbers are up, which is great. If you could just do us a favor and just go ahead and click like.
Yeah.
Doesn't cost you anything, but it definitely helps our Google juice and whatnot. So just, watch the video. Thank you so much for watching. But if you could just give it a little thumbs up there, that'd be great.
And most importantly, I think a lot of people, I've gotten a lot of questions asking what the likes do. Mm-hmm. They do a lot for us as Without Parole Games, as hosts here, to know what's working and what's not, what you like, what you don't like. And, I try not to put too much stake or too much stock in dislikes, because I know some people are just jerks. But when you take the time out to hit that like button, we know you really like what we're doing.
Yeah.
So hit like if you like it.
Thank you.
Hit like if you don't like it. Whatever. Go to hell.
Create a script that automatically hits like on all of our videos on our channel.
Fantastic. All right. Well, make sure you comment below. Let us know what you think of Don't Knock Twice. Also, let us know what games you want us to cover. Just the one.
Just the one.
We should call this game Just Knock Once. As always, I'm Brian Paul.
I'm Desra.
And we'll see you next week.